What's up guys, welcome to another install video. Today I'm going to be installing the Spider gas cap. This is an extremely easy install. Unfortunately, the instructions that the gas cap comes with, they're not very clear and they could be confusing. So what I'll do for you guys is show you in a few easy steps how to install it and make it easier for you. Okay, the first thing you need to do is take the key to open the gas cap here. Second thing, and probably I would say most important thing, is you need a paper towel to place it in here, because you want to make sure that you're not going to drop anything there. Make sure you do this, guys. Then you're going to take a 4mm hex to remove these 4 screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4mm. Okay, we're going to be reusing these 4 screws, so make sure you don't lose them. Right, now you can remove the paper towel and lift the gas cap. Next step will be to unscrew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. We need a Phillips head for this. Okay, make sure you work away from the gas tank and cover this with a paper towel so you don't drop anything in. And using your Phillips, you're going to remove these 5 screws. All right, we're not going to be reusing these screws, but I'll still save them for future. You never know, we might want to return to the stock gas cap again. All right, next step will be to remove the actual gas cap, the stock one, from top, and we're going to keep this. All right, so we're going to reuse this and this. This is the tricky part. This here is where a lot of people make a mistake when it comes to inserting these screws, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Okay, this is where for some it can get confusing because the instructions, they're not very clear. What they say is that you need to place this in here and also the hexagon in here. They just don't specify where. So this is what you need to do for this. You need to take this oval spacer and insert it here, just like that here. Then you'll take one of the provided screws. These are 2.5mm hex. You'll screw it in. And then underneath, you'll take the hexagon spacer in there, hold it in place, and screw all the way in, and you'll see that it'll bite underneath and it'll go in here. Okay, so the reason we do this is because this is the height that the screw will be sitting when we install this above it. So once we install this to the gas cap, we will have to remove the screw and this spacer so that this stays in place. I know it may sound confusing right now, but I'll show you exactly how to do it at the tank once I install all the rest of the 4 here. Okay, I'll show you what happens if you don't install this up here, and if you only install the hexagon screw, not the hex nut underneath. So if you only put the hex nut underneath, and then the screw above it, what's going to happen is that when you try and install this at the gas cap, this here will just drop down like this. So when this drops here and you'll try to insert this in the gas cap, the gas tank inside, it won't be able to go back in. So you will struggle with this to realign them. So that's the purpose of this spacer, is to put this in, have this spacer here so it doesn't drop the screw in. All right, so now that all 5 screws are in place, put this aside. See, now there's no fear of any screws dropping in because they're held by the spacers. We need to align these 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, to 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And always remember, can't miss it because this space here is bigger for here, and this goes to the right side, okay? This part here goes to the right side of the rider side. Okay, aligning the screws. And now we're gonna take the stock 4mm screws and screw them all here. But before we do that, of course, remember, place a paper towel in. Make sure you don't drop any screws in there. Okay, aligning everything. Take the 4mm stock screws, thread them by hand first, don't tighten it. And 4. So now what you're going to do is, in a cross pattern, go slowly. By hand first, and then with your hand tight, you can use your ratchet and tighten them. You don't need to go very tight. Once they stop, it's like an 1/8 of a turn on each one. Once they stop, 1/8 of a turn, 1/8 of a turn, 1/8 of a turn. Just reinspect the tightness. There you go. And cross pattern. See, because once you tighten one, the other one can become a little loose. Done. Okay, now that these 4 are tied in, what happens is the pressure down keeps those hex nuts underneath in place. So now we can remove this 2.5mm screws. Don't unscrew them completely, just half, so that you can actually pull the spacer out. There you go, see? So this is how it's going to be. This spacer will be removed, but we're going to keep the screws so we can screw in the gas cap. So one by one, remove it. Just unscrew it enough so that it unscrews from the hex nut, and then you can pull it up while they're still in. Okay, so everything's in place. And now we can insert the gas cap above it. Also guys, just for future reference, if you ever have to remove this, remember that to remove it, before you unscrew these 4 screws, start first by placing these inside, screw them in so you can grab the hex nut underneath before you lift it. Because if you lift it without inserting these, while you're lifting it, the hex nuts may drop inside. All right, 2 things. Don't forget to insert this rubber seal here that it comes with. And also don't forget to reuse this rubber seal that comes from the stock gas cap. Now to reuse this, you will see that they have some notches over here. These notches go and align where the screws are. So find and align them first. So you'll see one has the bigger gap. There. See, these two that have the bigger gap, you will align them with these here. These 2 notches. They have 5 all around. And also, the orientation is this way. This goes down and this goes up. And then above it, you will place the gas cap. Before we do, we have to remove the paper towel. Okay, keep this inserted, cap, so that when you screw it in, there's no fear of you dropping screws inside. And also it's easier to hold it, so you can align it. Then once you align all 5 holes, you start with the 2.5mm screws, place one in, and start them by hand. These screws, 2.5mm, trust me guys, can strip very easy. So there's no need for too much torque here. That's why I go only by hand. So now they're tight enough by hand. I'm gonna use the ratchet and be very cautious. Okay, go with the quarter turn. Quarter turn, quarter turn, and one more time, quarter, and the last 3rd time. That's it. Once you find resistance there, there's no need for more tightness there. That's it. Perfect. Now let's test it. There you go. All nice and clean. Alright guys, so that was it. That simple. If you follow the instructions on how to use the spacers, this should not take you more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes max if it's your first time doing it. Now one could ask, why change it? Well, obviously the #1 reason I do change it is for looks. I think it looks so much better with this color. The second reason is that I hate using my key every time I'm at the gas station to open the stock gas cap, and then when you try to put the fuel pump in, it just doesn't sit very right, so it makes it a little more difficult, and this makes it much more easy. Now, a downside to this, if I have to say, there's only one, is that anyone can just open this and throw anything inside. So if you're a guy that leaves your bike unattended in public very often, maybe this is not a good choice for you. But for me, I never ever almost leave my bike unattended in public. I don't use it to commute, so it's a perfect choice for me. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you install your gas cap. If you want to do so, stay tuned for the next series of videos because there's so many things coming up. I have to start with some small stuff. I am going to be removing this the decals, the A. I'm going to be installing the decals from the factory, the RSV4 factory, which has a red Aprilia decal there, the black A. I'm going to be doing some tank grips. I'm going to be installing the decal from the factory, also that carbon decal here, and so many more things until we get to the GP22, of course, doing Gabriel's map and velocity stack. So guys, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next one.